By the end of this video, you will know exactly why Trump's latest move could destroy the Caribbean economy in just 60 days. The shocking ultimatum. Boom! Out of nowhere, Trump's administration has just given Caribbean leaders 60 days to comply with new U.S. foreign policy demands or face major visa restrictions, trade penalties, and economic pressure. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is touching down in Jamaica on Wednesday, meeting with Prime Minister Andrew Holness as a part of a high-stakes three-nation Caribbean tour. But before Rubio even lands, Caricom leaders already panicking. Barbados PM Mia Mottley has called an emergency Caricom meeting, scrambling to strategize before the U.S. drops the hammer. What's at stake? A massive policy shift affecting everything from Cuba's controversial Health Brigade to Trump's new economic war on China. But here's the real question. Why now? What's really behind this sudden power move? Is this really about visas and trade, or is the US secretly trying to cut China's influence in the Caribbean before it's too late? The hidden US agenda, escalating the conflict. Let's break this down. Because this isn't just about visas, it's about America flexing its dominance over the Caribbean. The ultimatum is tied to three major issues. Cuba's Health Brigade system. The US has been gunning for Cuba's medical diplomacy program, accusing it of being modern-day slavery. But Caribbean nations heavily rely on Cuban doctors. So will they betray Cuba to stay in America's good books? And by good books, we are talking about keep the US visa within the passport. Trump versus China in the Caribbean. Trump is cracking down on Chinese-linked shipping routes entering the US ports, and the Caribbean is caught in the middle, with billions in Chinese investments in the region. This is a geopolitical nightmare. Haiti's crisis and US control. The US wants Caribbean leaders to back its security intervention in Haiti, but many see this as just another power grab disguised as help. The tension is real. Some Caribbean leaders like Trinidad's PM Stuart Young are talking tough, saying they won't be bullied, but others fear the economic backlash if they defy Trump. So who is going to fold and who is going to fight? Well, we know Jamaica now fight because we see Jamaica already sell out the Caribbean leaders who did a stand with the Cuban doctors. Mia Mottley don't have one Cuban doctor or nurse in Barbados, and she stands with Cuba. Jamaica has 400 Cuban doctors and nurses in Jamaica, and Jamaica is willing to cut ties with Cuba and exile the Cuban doctors and nurses from Jamaica to bow and submit to Trump's demands. That's why Jamaica has been so silent on the matter. That's why Marco Rubio is coming to Jamaica, because he can link with the traitor who sell out the Caricom revolution. Remember, in slavery, you always have one informer slave where run go back to Bakra and tell him, say, Bakra, them a plan for revolt on the plantation and unalive everybody and overthrow you and your family, Bakra. At 12 o'clock tomorrow it all start, Bakra. And Bakra say, give me the names of all of them. We are plan the coup. And by the time you quint, you see people start hang up in a tree. You see me? From a rope. Yes. So this is just history repeating itself. For some reason, African people can't unite. That's why we need you to go watch the video, Decolonizing Jamaica's Education Curriculum. Yes, me break down the whole slave mindset mentality. You were bred to be slaves. You were bred to be in servitude to Bakra and race forever. That's a very deep dive. Go check out that video there. The clock is ticking. The Caribbean has less than 60 days before Trump drops the hammer. The final showdown. What happens next? The countdown is on. In just 60 days, we could see Caribbean nations caving in to Trump's demands. A massive diplomatic fallout between the US and Caricom. Economic sanctions, visa bans, and trade wars in full effect. This is unprecedented. The Caribbean is being forced to choose: stand with the US or risk serious consequences. More of the slave and slave master dynamic, from a former colonial power to former colonial slave plantations. Not no change. Cause Trump now ask we fi do nothing. Him a demand. Say at this we have to do, and if we not do this, him a go do that. So what's your take? Should the Caribbean bow to Trump's demands or stand firm against US pressure? Let me know in the comments. If you found this breakdown insightful, hit that like button, subscribe for more hard-hitting Caribbean political analysis, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Trump's 60-day ultimatum to Caribbean leaders. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio's high-stakes Jamaica visit. Emergency Caricom meeting before U.S. negotiations. The real reason behind the ultimatum. Cuba, China, and Haiti. What happens next? Visa bans, economic pressure, and diplomatic chaos. Remember when the US invaded Grenada in 1983? The Caribbean has seen this movie before. Will history repeat itself? I thought that CARICOM did supposed to mean something. I thought that CARICOM was one united front in the Caribbean. I mean, it actually means Caribbean community. So I actually thought we were one community. But apparently not. Because Jamaica is definitely not in this fight. Jamaica take with themselves and isolate themselves. You get me? Yeah. First and foremost, what's going on in Haiti is Haiti's problem. Jamaica has its own problem to worry about. Its own gun and crime problem to worry about. We don't have no resources in the form of JDF or JCF personnel to send or dispatch to Haiti. You have to fix your yard before you can fast in somebody else's business. Because me no see them I send no troops from them country to go Haiti. So why them want Caribbean leaders to send their people go Haiti? That no make no sense. And the Haitians are not very kind and friendly to foreigners. Because so when the foreigner them come and left the country, end up worse off than before. I am all for African unity, but let the Haitians handle their own problem. I want y'all to know this. Marco Rubio is not coming to be in negotiations with nobody. This man a come fi drop the hammer and make you know say, yo, if you not do what me say now, you already know the consequences. So, on a negotiate him a come a Jamaica fi meet and greet. No, it's a benevolent dictatorship. You know that's the funny thing about democracy? It's really totalitarianism and dictatorship under disguise. But a lot of people don't know that because they give you the illusion of freedom and the illusion of choice. It's pretty much a false reality. Imagine waking up one morning realizing that all travel visas to the US have been cancelled. No flights, no business, no family visits. This could be our future in just 60 days. And Marco Rubio said that he doesn't need all of the Caribbean leaders to come to the meeting in Jamaica. So basically, him just say, him want the one them where did I talk tough. He want them where did I say, yo, take take back your visa. We are stand with Cuba. Yes, at them him want hole in the room so he can lay down the law. Yeah, man. Meanwhile, Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, will be sitting quiet and watching because remember now, Jamaica is heavily in bed with China and I get billions of Chinese loans figure toward infrastructures like roads and highway. You get me? So PM Andrew Holness is trying to appease Trump by playing both sides. But in the end of all of this, Trump I go tell him say you have to go stop take money from China. This is just the start, So if him feel like he can play both sides forever, that not go happen. Trump I go force him to cut off China completely. So cutting off Cuba is just the start. But me have my popcorn and me I go and me watch the show. Me I go and watch the movie because I know how it ends. The same knife will stick sheep, it stick goat, and it sticky hog and it sticky cow. Yes, so Andrew Holness can try be diplomatic as he want, but Trump I go force him to drop China. Just watch and cut off China completely. And guess what? You're gonna be enslaved to the will of America forever. And they no must do nothing for you. They no must give the same loans them where China did a give. They must send you go IMF or World Bank because I don't know no history where America has ever lent Jamaica any form of loan towards economic development. Never. Trump says it's a fair deal. Caricom says it's economic warfare. Who do you believe? Let me know in the comments. So now, let me tell you how the movie ends when Rubio actually hold everybody we attack tough in the room. Me and Mottley and everybody are go fooled and cave when he done talk. Because the moment they know say, you see what we did to Cuba, are gonna be child's play compared to what we are gonna do to Uno. Uno are gonna be a special example. So are you prepared to accept the consequences? You can't stand by what you're saying, but make sure you can live with it. So when Rubio done outline all of the economic sanctions and repercussions we are gonna happen to everybody, we are rebel that's in rebellion against the Trump administration. Rubio gonna ask them, are you sure it's worth it? Are you sure you want to risk it all for some Cuban doctors? Trust me, by the end, when him done lay down the law, as me say, it is not a negotiation. Him a come fi dictate terms. No negotiation will be taking place. Him just a come fi quell and quash this little rebellion, this little uprising. When you see, yes, ka Bakra no like them thing. The Bakra say, but wait, when I get bright, when I get brave. No. We cannot have that. No rebellion on this modern day slave plantation. Are you crazy? We'll crush that. And we're gonna make a special example out of everybody we think or we did attack like them tough. Yes. So I applaud the effort by everybody who did stand up against this form of attitude and behavior. Yeah. They say might can beat right, but make we see. So for those of you who don't know, Trump created a 3-tier color list. So it's red, orange, and yellow. So Jamaica and the Caribbean fall under the yellow list, which is a group of 22 countries has been given 60 days to address identified security deficiencies or risk. Future restrictions. A lower tier of nations would be put on notice by the administration that they need to address problems. So that is for the yellow tier where the Caribbean countries fall under. So we are on 60 days notice to comply with all the demands of the Trump administration. Again, not a negotiation. Trump administration's proposal, potential travel restrictions targeting 43 countries, including several Caribbean nations. In early 2025, the Trump administration unveiled a draft proposal targeting 43 countries, many from the Caribbean, with potential travel restrictions. Nations like St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, Cuba and Haiti found themselves on this list, facing possible visa bans. The stated reason: alleged deficiencies in security protocols and cooperation. Keyword here is cooperation. You not comply, so you go get banned. Get it? What if I told you this isn't just about the Caribbean? Trump's real target might be something even bigger, and it's coming next. See you in the next one. Stay informed and stay awake. One love, Jamaica.